What do you think about Cry Hard 3?
I don't know him.
Do you know Cry Hard 3?
No.
Would you like to know more about Cry Hard 3?
I'm alright, thanks, actually.
Have you ever listened to Cry Hard 3?
Listen to what?
No Keane this term because Tom
classics.
sort of revealed that we probably play too much Keane, so we've got a Keane amnesty.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I think we maybe should have played like a memorial song to
I
celebrate
think we should.
their time. 'Cause they
Should we
did-
play Everybody's
they did
Changing at
split
some
up
point?
over-
I know, and it was tough.
I
tough
was
for all of
torn
us.
to pieces.
Yeah.
Although, as far as I remember, Louise ignored my little Facebook post.
I remember that.
It got a
I
lot of interest from other people,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't think of anything sort of. There's nothing nice to say about this. I
well,
don't really want to upset anyone.
we
so-
thought you were just so emotionally distraught that you couldn't even bring yourself
Yeah.
to type.
Wasn't that the week when you didn't hear from me for like a week?
Yeah.
And then you were like sending me Snapchats going, "Are you still alive?"
Yes, it is. I was genuinely worried for your health, especially with Keane breaking up and all. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I was
I was taking it
genuinely
really badly.
concerned.
All we wanted was just hashtag RIP art. I think that would have suited
Yeah.
because, everybody is changing, and unfortunately, that has meant that Keane has split up.
Yeah, I know.
And we're going to have to go somewhere only we know.
Well, I think
Where else do
Coldplay might have to step into the vault left by them.
Yeah, well, they've got a new album
Okay.
coming out this year, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah.
How did I not know about this?
I don't know too much about it, but I just read an article that
Can we
said
find
they're
a
probably-
slightly like something? What's the nice middle ground? Like slightly more towards the.
Why don't you
middle
like
than
Coldplay?
But their songs don't make sense. Although I
She
think
has a
they
point.
sort of they enjoy that. They like that they can make such
Yeah.
money off.
But
Like,
loads of songs don't make sense.
Yeah, that's
Well, you were
true.
talking about this the other day. Pitbull. None of
Yeah.
his
Oh, yeah.
songs make sense.
no, but he's not an artist of any sort of. His songs are all the same,
Yeah.
aren't they?
He doesn't have a caliber.
Dresses up in a suit and throws in words like "dale" because he's
Yeah.
from South America, I think. So
Well, I think he just riffs. I don't think he writes any of his songs. I think he turns up probably hungover after about 3 hours sleep and turns up to
suit
the
and
recording studio and they
sunglasses.
go, right, we've got Kesha in there. There's a song called Timber. Have you written anything? No, I don't write. I don't know why he's
Wow.
And then he goes in there and he talks about Miley Cyrus in that Timber song. He talks about just getting clothes off.
name dropping.
It sounds like some form of how they review the newspapers on a Monday morning on BBC Breakfast or something. It sounds like that. He just takes in a newspaper and goes, right, what's been happening this week?
Yeah, yeah.
Writes a song about it on the spot.
interspersed with stories about shots.
Yeah, shots and
Pitbull loves shots.
shots and things that he hasn't
Collaborations.
done sexually with women. There's that bit where he goes, I was with a woman and she asked me to do her sister as well. That didn't
This is like it's like year 10s, isn't it?
Yeah.
I slept with 6 of them. You've only slept with 3, aren't you, wimp? And none of them
Yeah.
slept with anyone.
Who are they? It was on holiday.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Yeah.
I was balls deep.
But I think that Timber song is just like
It's the pinnacle of
Yeah.
the awful franchise that is Pitbull.
Right, and it's like all those songs that like David Guetta that are all the same and they're
Yeah.
all right. They just have one word where they just sort of sing for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Like gravity.
Generic words.
yeah.
Titanium,
Yeah.
like a metal. Any
And
metal.
they're sort of so they're everyone who's getting a bit drunk at a party. They've had a good time, but maybe they're taking it a bit too far. That Timber song, that's someone who's been sick on themselves and wet themselves at the same time. It's just they've just gone
Grand
too
slammed.
far. Yeah. Right then, so I think it's time for our first song.
Ooh.
I was going to play Florence and the Machine Spectrum with a little
Yeah.
bit of a fiddle from Calvin Harris, but I've
Oh,
decided
wait.
against it because I was listening to the Musketeers advert, that show on TV. I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but they had a song, and I thought, what better for introducing the Three Musketeers once again?
Oh, right.
Do you see what I mean?
I
Like,
did
'cause
see
we're
what you did
We're
there,
the
yeah.
new Three Musketeers.
There we are.
Yay.
So it's Wood Kid, which is also what you call your genitals, isn't it, John?
Yes,
Run Boy
actually, yeah.
Run on Cry Hard 3. Run on Burst Radio. This is Cry Hard 3 with Adam Whitty, Louise Sellers,
Hi.
and John Smallwood.
What's up, yo?
Hey. So next up, it's time. We mentioned it earlier, the flagship feature. Now, I spent a good half an hour yesterday on making a new jingle for you for
I'm
this.
really excited. I'm really happy you've done this for
Okay,
me.
so it's time
Thank
for
you.
Louise's
It's
Imaginarium.
gonna be good though.
Oh, Louise, what have you thought of this time? It's Louise's Imaginarium.
That's actually incredible.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for the time and effort you put into that.
Do you want to hear it again?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Oh, Louise, what have you thought of this time? It's Louise's Imaginarium.
It does make me sound slightly like the aging aunt or grandmother or something in the family who sort of turns up to family gatherings and gets drunk.
Yeah.
Tells stories of their youth, like incredibly racist stories.
Have you got any of them coming up, or?
None of them are racist.
Oh, no.
Well,
I'd say out of the grandma who's gonna get drunk, John's that out of us, isn't he?
Yeah, probably.
He's the old grandma that gets
I'm the
drunk.
wild card.
Yeah. I love that picture of you, by the way, that's gone up on Facebook of
Yeah.
you in the middle of a party, really not enjoying
So
yourself.
bad. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was doing something like dancing really well. But you know, when I dance well, I dance like sarcastically because it's the
Yeah.
only way I can dance because I hate clubbing. Well, I think Kate Helby turned to me and said, "Just stop." So I was like, "Well, fine." So I did just stop doing everything, and just stood there frowning for about an hour. So I made her apologise to me for insulting my dancing before I then started dancing and flailing again. So yeah,
Well, I mean, normally it's me and you getting it on.
that's right. I know people are like,
Very
"Are they a couple?"
homoerotic.
Are they a couple?
I did some shapes
Yeah.
on the floor. Nothing.
You did some shapes on the floor.
You just throwing down those shapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The women love it.
Triangle.
The men love it more, and that's the problem. You see, I don't. My demographic doesn't work out quite right. But never mind.
It's time for Louise's
It's time for
Imaginarium.
Louise's
John.
Imaginarium.
Louise, your ideas for this week.
Is this my background music?
It always was. Oh no, it wasn't this, was it? Oh, I've
Doesn't
made
matter.
an error.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, this does make it sound a bit more like smooth. Like we're hanging out in a hotel bar
Yeah.
and we're all a bit drunk. This is coming back to being drunk again. I'm just telling you the stories. Anyway, so on my theme of the week has been conspiracies. Not for the show in particular, just life. Conspiracies keep popping up. So this is sort of relating to it, and the fact that it's the Winter Olympics in Sochi at the moment. I can't remember if I've brought this one up on the show before or not, but you've definitely heard it. Basically, because you know the Olympics are just a breeding ground for people. It's a frenzy. There's a lot of people going at it. All the sports people, all the sexy sports people, just going at it anytime they're
Is
not.
it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I heard from the last Olympics. It's just you can't go around the corner.
Well, there was that picture of Usain Bolt with those
those
Swedish
Swedish
ladies.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, with his Swedish lady friends. So anyway, I thought take that, use it to our advantage, and breed the champions of the future with the sort of like taking Usain Bolt as our stallion, so to speak. And then like getting him to have kids with, I don't know, someone who's really good at another sport.
Could you make this more fun? Could you like sort of Olympic blind date? You could be like, this gold Olympic champion says he's looking for a young, fit lover. But what question would you have? And like get Cilla Black to do it if she's not dead yet. So
She's not that old, is she?
I don't know. Probably she looked it 90 years ago. Yeah.
Bitter.
So, what would you call it? Would you call it like Olympic dating? as opposed to
Definitely not
uniform?
Olympic eugenics.
Okay. You would call it that, okay.
No, I don't really know what we'd call it. I don't know if it would be something that would be made obvious to the public, because this is along the whole lines of conspiracy thinking. People would just see in the next, 20 years' time at the Olympics, and people are like, the athletes are like on top form. Every single one of them's
Yeah.
breaking records, and we can't work out why.
Yeah, and they all look
I'll
like
be
each other.
sitting, grinning to myself with a glass of whiskey.
So it's
My evil chair.
So you somehow make money out of this?
No, just more the joy of creating superhumans.
Oh right, so you've created all these superhumans, and then you've got rich through a totally separate means, and then sat
Say I
there in
was
your
rich.
mansion.
Where did richness come into
Just
this?
the idea of you sitting there with whiskey, sort of cackling, does make you sound like you're
Students
rich.
buy whiskey.
They do. If you're
I
Jack
could-
Hamilton, you certainly buy
Yeah.
whiskey. Yeah.
So is this your sort of Olympic mating program?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It would be all entirely consensual, so that's okay. It's more just the suggestions, like, it would be like Tinder. Actually, I did hear that Tinder at the Olympics is madness.
Really?
Yeah, there was some article about it. So I don't know who it was. Some athlete was like, it is off the scales. Like, just so many beautiful people. All just,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically it'll just be an Olympic specific Tinder, so you can only join in it if you're a
Now
participant.
that is a
in the
very good
Olympics.
idea.
And then just
How broad would it have to be though? Like, because you can't like say you're just living in like a village in the middle of Wales, and you're like, how wide do you have to set your criteria in order to have another Olympic athlete of the
well, no, it
opposite
would be
sex?
at the Olympics.
Oh right, at the Olympics.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just generally once the Olympics are over, you have like a.
Well, it makes
Olympic
more sense to
athlete
get them
setting.
while they're all in the same place.
That is true.
All forced to live in the
I've-
same sterile village.
I've been very
There's nothing else to
short-sighted.
do.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
I think it's a great idea.
A great idea, yeah.
I think it would be cool.
But it would create a new level of someone to envy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these attractive people.
Sammy Bolt Ennis.
I know.
I would hate him.
I hate him so much.
Fastest man in would unlock.
Sums the thing
Sums
up.
me up.
This is Burst Radio.
Bristol University's radio station.
This is Burst.
Welcome to Loose Boyfriends. With me, John Smallwood.
And me, Adam Whitty. Hey there.
How you doing?
It's good to be with you today, John.
Good to be with you, Izzy.
Welcome to a new part of our show where John and I give quality relationship advice you can trust. It's for men, by men.
That's right. As we all know, living with women has its perils. But with our competent advice, you can learn to be the loving partner your honey truly deserves. Oh, yeah.
So, sit back, have a beer, maybe put your feet up, but pay attention. Because what you're about to hear could very well change your world.
That's right. I'll say it again. Welcome to Loose Boyfriends. Well, Whitty, I've got to say, I'm very excited about all this.
Me too, John. It's good for us to share our knowledge and shed some light on many of the little lies our ladies love to tell us.
Those tiny, teeny, extra details only well-travelled men such as ourselves are lucky enough to truly know. What have we got this week?
Well, first up this week, John, there's been a lot of intense debate about a topic, let's say, close to my heart. Some people say it's a well-known fact that men's sexualized views of women's sleepovers and pillow fights aren't correct. These naysayers would have you believe that women don't actually like to get their kid off and repeatedly smash soft, downy pillows onto each other's faces. I'm here to tell you, don't believe a word they say. I can tell you from a personal experience, extensive research, and videos that I've watched, that women love nothing more than sweet, pillowy warfare. Feathers adorn every visible surface, you know what I mean, and the sound of giggles sensually caress your eardrums. I've only taken part in this on a handful of occasions, but believe me when I say, it's something I'll never forget, and often think about on rainy days. So remember, guys, when she says, that never happens, now put some clothes on, just remember, she's playing it cool. And one day, if you're lucky, you might get to be a part of that sweet, sweet pillow bashing. John, your thoughts?
Well, Whitty, I'm glad you've cleared that one up for me. I've had a lot of sleepless nights thinking about this exact problem. But now I can rest easy knowing that this harmful myth has been put to bed. Literally.
My pleasure, John. I think it's important guys know these things. What have you got for me this week, John?
Oh, well, Whitty, I'm glad you've asked, because this one's it's a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Many misinformed people throughout the ages have proclaimed the presence of something of a language barrier between women and men. I believe the great philosopher Plato once said words to the effect of, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Well, thousands of years on, this lie seems to permeate within our fragile society, like the wings of a dove on a Thursday evening. You know what I'm trying to say. Deep. Men, I'm afraid, are responsible for this fable, but I'm about to change that and break down the barriers we ourselves have created, like vicious dogs eating themselves with emotion. Profound. Men foolishly claim that a woman never really means what she says, and there's always some form of hidden message. They claim simple things like, do what you want and I don't mind, actually mean, I'm gonna rip your balls off if you don't do the opposite of what you've just suggested. Well, it turns out, men, this isn't true. Newsflash, when women say, everything's fine, they really mean, everything's fine. Even more shocking, their texts have absolutely no hidden meanings, agendas, or suppressed disdain. They mean the words on the page, and nothing more. So, boyfriends, husbands, and anyone living with a woman, heed our words and you'll be just fine.
Wow, John. That's really something. Clearly some foolproof, solid advice there. Ladies, watch out. your lives are gonna get a whole lot better.
Thank you, Whitty.
Now, I'm afraid that's all the advice we can afford to give this week for legal reasons. But all in good time, folks. All in good time.
Do you have any educational tales you think men just need to know about?
Well then, don't hesitate to get in touch. You can tweet us, message us, or face novel us.
The choice is yours.
Good night, Bristol.
And stay cool. So, Louise, care to say how accurate we are, how right we are?
To some extent. I think the what you were saying about women saying what they mean, in some respects. I'm about to get very feminist on you, but you look scared.
We're all feminists here, Louise.
We're all
I know.
feminists here, we're just...
Did you not hear what we just said?
I know you love women.
We do.
But you're definitely right on some aspects of women saying what they mean. No means no.
Oh, we would never argue that.
No. But what do you agree with the sleepovers?
That's sorry, lock and key. Like I can't divulge. That really is one of life's great mysteries.
Well, I think we'll have to take that as a you're right.
Yeah.
So,
Let me tell you, listeners, she would not have told us that was lock and key if it wasn't true.
Well, that was smooth.
I forgot what I was trying to say.
That was obvious. So let's finish this section
Let's finish it here and now.
before someone gets
Well,
in trouble.